In this video, I'm going to show you how to strengthen your legs and walk with less pain. Stay tuned. Hey everyone, Dr. Rowe coming to you from SpineCare in St. Joseph, Michigan. In this video, we're going to go over 4 easy exercises that are going to target different areas and muscles around the legs to help strengthen them and make it where you can walk easier with less pain. A note about the exercises, each one works just a little bit differently. To get the best results, go through them all, use what works best for you. With that being said, let's get started. Here's a couple good exercises that are going to focus on strengthening the hips and the knees. For this one, we just need a sturdy chair, preferably one without wheels. This first exercise is what I call hip clocks. It's a really good one because it's going to put the leg and the hip through different positions to find the one that will help the most. So let's start by getting in position. What I'm going to do is put one side close to the chair. Doesn't matter which side because we're going to do this on both. Just take your hand on that side, grab the top of the chair for support. We're then going to place all of our body weight onto the foot closest to the chair, and I like to place it a little bit more on my heel. From here, the other leg is going to go straight at the knee, toes pointed towards the floor. Now, just like a clock, we're going to place our legs straight out in front of us. This would be noon. What we're going to do is slowly raise our leg and foot upward towards the ceiling until we feel a really good activation of the muscles throughout the legs, but you really want to feel it right here over the hips. This will engage the glutes, which are a main stabilizer of the back and the hips. Once you feel that, hold this comfortably for 3 to 5 seconds and then lower your foot towards the floor. Relax, take a breather. Again, just like a clock, what we're going to do now is move over a little bit towards 12:30, 1 o'clock, and then repeat. What you're going to notice is it hits the muscles just a little bit differently. You may start to notice it a little bit more towards the inner part of your thigh, into the groin, maybe a little bit more into the hip. What you want to do is just experiment with as many different positions as possible. Go towards 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock. If you have the flexibility, you can even go towards 7 o'clock. But what you're going to notice is that one certain position just feels really weak, tight, or achy. At that point, treat that like your weak link and throw more repetitions in. Just keep building into it as much as you can. I like to throw in about 5 to 10 repetitions in that spot to make sure that I got a really good workout. But if you would really like to take this one to the next level, what you can do is add more motions in to target those muscles even more. So what I'm going to do is raise my foot up and turn it outward like this as much as I can. So go right back to your weak spot. Raise that foot up like this, but turn it outward, focusing on trying to move through your hip also. You'll really feel those muscles engage. So build into this one slowly. What you do is hold this for about 3 to 5 seconds, and then what you're going to do is then slowly turn your foot inward like this and slowly lower your foot towards the floor. So we're going to resist against our leg weight going up, but also going down like this. Give that one a try for about 5 to 10 repetitions and focus on trying to build into each repetition a little bit more. Just remember, whatever you do on one side to do on the other to keep everything in balance. So now let's turn our attention a little bit more towards the knee and do what are called star taps. This one is very similar to that hip clock. It's just going to target the knee a little bit more. So this time around, I'm going to place all of my body weight onto the foot that's closest to the chair, kind of similar to what we just did, but I'm going to bend my knee slightly to the point where I feel the muscles in the thigh start to engage. I pretty much feel it in my calves working up into the thigh. All the muscles that help support the knee are definitely firing at this point. This other leg is going to go straight out in front of us. We're going to point the toes towards the floor. And what you're going to do is just tap the foot just like this a couple times, maybe about 3 to 5 times. What this will do is force the knee right here, this bent one, to stabilize this movement. So all of that soft tissue that supports the knees are now being challenged to support this. It helps strengthen it. So try to do that for about 3 to 5 times, and then just like a clock, what you're going to do is work more towards 12:30, 1 o'clock, and then repeat. Again, what you're going to notice is that one certain position just feels really, really weak. At that point, I would try to throw more repetitions in, maybe do about 10 to 15, take a breather, and then throw another set or 2 in. If you would really like to take this one to the next level, what you can do is a squatting motion with this knee. So what you do is, instead of tapping your foot like this, just let it hover maybe about 3 to 4 inches above the ground. You're going to bend that knee, place all of your body weight onto this back heel right here, and then squat down and allow your toes right here to touch the floor. Hold that for a second or two and then come back up. On the next repetition, try a different position on that clock. But what you're going to do is just find that weak link. Like, let's say for 3 o'clock right here for me, I just throw in about 10 repetitions at that point, always challenging myself to build into it as much as I can. But this is just a really good way to find the right spot to help strengthen the knee where it needs it the most. But go through all of these movements and target those weak links. So if it feels like you have a lot of weakness in your ankles when you walk, the first thing that you need to do is strengthen your calf muscles. Here's a really easy way to be able to do this. What you're going to do is just go right up to a step and place all of your body weight onto the balls of your feet and have your heels off of that step or that stair. What you're going to do is just drive your heels upward towards the ceiling as much as you can. The more that you go up, the more that you're going to feel those calves start to fire. Hold this comfortably for about 5 seconds, and then what you're going to do is go in reverse. You're going to slowly lower your body weight, lowering your heels towards the floor, but resist against this movement. You're going to notice it hits the muscles a little bit differently. So when you can't go down any further, you're going to hold this for a second or two and then drive back up and repeat this whole process in both directions about 10 to 15 times. If it feels like you have a little bit more energy, challenge yourself to throw in another set or 2. So let's take this one to the next level by doing what are called eccentric calf raises. So instead of going straight up like this, what you want to do is tilt your body towards one side. So I'm going a little bit towards my right, and then I'm going to repeat. You're going to notice it hits the ankles and those calves just a little bit differently. So give that a try towards the right and also towards the left. But remember, when you come back down, resist against your body weight. If you find any of those positions feel like they're a little bit more weak, at that point I would try to throw more repetitions in. But you can really take this one to the next level by doing circular motions like this. So what I'm doing is I'm going in a big, wide counterclockwise circle, lowering my heels down and coming back up like this. Give this a try for about 5 times in one direction, and then switch it up in the opposite direction and repeat. But go through all of those movements, try to find the weak ones, and throw more repetitions in at that point. So if you're looking for an all-in-one exercise that's going to make walking, going up and down stairs, getting out of a chair easier, it's hard to beat the squat. The squat is the king of leg strengthening exercises. It's going to work everything from your toes all the way towards your back. So let's break down a really easy way to do a squat and hopefully get those legs a lot stronger. For this one, let's grab our sturdy chair without wheels. What you want to do is start in a wide stance like this with your knees slightly wider than your hips. It's really going to focus on strengthening the glutes. And you also want to point your toes out slightly, about 5 to 10 degrees. What this will do is take tension off your knees. And during this exercise, you're going to place all of your body weight onto your heels just like this. So let's also brace our core muscles. You know when somebody tries to poke you in your stomach, how you tense up? Mimic that and hold it. It will help protect the spine. And we also want to squeeze our glutes or our butt to make sure that we're activating those muscles. So let's start facing that chair. Take your hands, place them right on top for support. Let's put all of our body weight right onto our heels just like this. And what we're going to do is keep our back nice and straight. We're just going to bend our knees slightly and then lower our butt down and away from that chair. So we're squatting down just like this. The more that you go down, the more that you're going to feel those leg muscles start to fire, but really focus on feeling it into the hips around the glutes. Once you get to a point where it is a really challenging hold, you're going to hold this one for about 3 to 5 seconds, and then you're going to drive up, moving through your heels, using your leg strength. So really focus on driving up like this, engaging those muscles. Take a breather. On the next repetition, what you're going to do is try to build into it a little bit more by squatting down further. Challenge yourself with each repetition. And you're just going to keep doing this over and over again for about 10 to 15 repetitions. But if it feels like you have a little bit more energy, challenge yourself. Try to throw in another set or 2. If the exercises help, please support the channel by giving this video a like and maybe subscribing too. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them below. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks for watching.